What's up, YouTube? Lenny, Good to Go Garage. I got something I want to show y'all. It's the vehicle I've had the longest, honestly, since I moved back to Missouri. It's a 91 GMC. It's an OBS, nice little short bed. It's not too rotted, but it ain't too beautiful. I don't think I've ever showed it before on the channel, which is crazy because I've had it forever. But it's one of them vehicles that's kind of like a, I don't know, a revive and drive every time I play with it, because it sits for months at a time with no care, but it just starts up and does its thing. It's a little 4.3 V6. There it is. Let me show you. I like to start off in the interior, which, when it comes to this one, it's a GMC, so it's got a lot of extra features, but she got like almost 300,000, if not more. I don't really know. The dash says 219. I put that dash in out of something else. But yeah, I love the gauges on these. They're kind of like a Indiglo watch. They're like that greenish color. And I love the, like here, it's got this heater, and they call it a walking arrow, because it like looks like it walks. See it? And it looks like it runs. Run away. Anyway, the gauges, they're like these half round gauges, which every time I play with this I gotta go. Then there's like a bad connection on that gauge. I've tried to clean it, but just a slap and then it turns on. Came with the 8-ball shifter, but it wasn't attached very well, so I epoxied it on there. Came with this center console, which is, I'm pretty sure it's out of a Blazer, but I mean, this has been beating up my arm for years, this cracked nastiness. But I chopped the top off of my seat right here because I'm just too tall for these. These seats don't belong in here. Like I said, I think they're from a Blazer. They touch everywhere, but they said Heartbeat of America on them. I don't know, maybe they're aftermarket seats, but that's the original door panel. See how like the lock is rounded? The handles are like rounded. It's fully carpeted. It's got the nice pocket. It's actually got a pocket kind of going that way too. It's in shambles, but it's not that bad. Somebody put tint. We got the Sweet Ride dash cover because it's a mess. If you look in there, she's horrible. So yeah, we just leave it on there for poops and giggles. And I got this. I want to know why there's 2 cup holders here. Okay, 2 cup holders here. Okay, and there's 2 on the center console. I mean, I don't know if you need that many drinks, but I mean, if you think you do. This steering wheel was in the C10 when I bought it, the square body, and I switched them because this steering wheel, I didn't like it. I like the other factory looking steering wheel in that one. Even though it's the wrong year factory looking, it still looks better to me than one of these old Grant GTs or whatever this one is. But so I got this aftermarket tack that the gauge needle doesn't light up anymore. I got this from a dude. It was like almost brand new for like 20 bucks. But you know, you can play videos on it, whatever. You know, it's one of those freaking dual radio touchscreen. It's alright. It doesn't belong in this truck, but it's better than nothing. I don't even listen to radios in vehicles. I have this. Everything's half falling out. I gotta do some... All the plastic to the dash is messed up. And this is my windshield wipers. I hooked the... I think this is cargo light. Yeah, it's a cargo light, but it never worked. It wasn't hooked up because this dash came onto something else. Even though it might have had one, it wasn't hooked up. And I found this in the junkyard. I can never find these. Little fuse cover. As you can see, nothing. But the best thing about this truck is this little guy right here. That's the only reason I bought this truck, which I paid $300 for. And I've put probably, I don't know, 30, 50,000 hard miles. Absolute no shits given beatings to this truck. See, this is the other door panel. As you can see, it doesn't have any carpeting. This is square and that one's round. See it? That's because this is a Chevy door panel from some low model Chevy, and that is the one that belongs here. As you can see, it's got the grab through handle. This one has just this cutout grab handle, which, you know, she's seen better days, but she's a good old girl. And this is cool. You want to see something pretty awesome? I never do this because it's annoying, but this goes up. And then you got the seat, of course. And then this goes up. And you got all that space in there. Kind of cool, right? It's annoying when you keep mad stuff in your cup holder. Like all this change just fell out, see? Because I never used that, so why would I care to move anything anywhere? There's a knob to my $1 million radio. Anyway, yep, I've had this truck a long time. She's a good old truck. And I've done a lot of work to this truck as far as, hey, somebody hooked up the stupidest. Those are actually UV lights. They're actual UV lights, so at night it's crazy. The headliner's in it, so I can always rewrap it. I mean, the fiber backing of it, you know, and then you can just take these. You know, I had big plans for this truck when I got it, man, because I got it so darn cheap. This little mirror I got off something else. It's super tiny, super annoying. There is a spot on the floor there. I have no idea what that is, but it's rock hard. It's almost like tar, grease. You know, this whole carpet, everything's got to come out of here. These seats are gone. I don't even want them. I'm probably going to take out most of this dash and make a custom dash for it. It's got tint, both side windows, and I mean, it's done a million years ago, but both side windows and the back window are tinted, which makes it great for backing up at night. And as you can see, that cab sags quite a bit, right? So I got these tires extremely cheap, but they're tiny. So I put them in the back and filled the air shocks all the way. And that was that. But as you can see, I got this notch for the frame and I never welded it. I've been driving it like this for years, never welded it. I mean, this truck's pretty rot free. I mean, there's a little, it's got this stainless trim, but it's got some right there, and there's nothing here, and there's nothing around the wheel wells. As you can see, there's a little bit right here. This was all filled in with Bondo, easily fixed, not in a great spot, but it's up all the way to here. I think it got whacked right here. This was a Car-Mart car because I had to get a lien release when I bought it from the kid, and it was a Car-Mart car. Somebody they shaved the trim off the back of it. As you can see, they filled it in with Bondo and whatnot. So, sorry, I was rudely interrupted. Joking. Anyway, as you can see, the cab and the door are two different colors. Closed but no cigar. And I love how these have no rain gutters. The rain gutter is the door, kind of. They got this almost smooth. There's no like space here. How do I explain that? The glass is almost even with the body. You know, even this one's like a little different, but this one is like almost smooth. You know, it's kind of cool, you know. All the rubbers are just gone. I'm probably just gonna buy a set of doors for this thing. It's easier than replacing all the seals and everything. Just find you a good set of doors, even though the doors ain't that bad. Needs a little rocker work. I cut the inner fender wells out, and believe it or not, put smaller tires on them. And this is a double walled fender, and it just, you know, it hits every once in a while. It's got the little 4.3. She's a greasy girl, and she's got blow by so bad I have to take the dipstick out. Here's the dipstick, and I put a cap on it because it just blow the dipstick out of it. I'm trying to, you know, avoid that. I'm surprised. I mean, it blows the dipstick out, but it doesn't blow the PCV valve out. It's probably too tight in there. Both motor mounts are shot. So I have this wonderful invention, and I strapped it as tight as I could this way. I can't find an alternator that fits this to save my life, so I just rigged up an alternator that I found, you know, made it work. I'd like to put the alternator down there, to be honest with you, get it out of the way, cut that off, but I'm not even keeping this engine. More on that later. This thing, like my square body, needs the front end aligned, but this one's not nearly as bad as my other truck. It just needs a little lined up. It didn't mess with it too much. So, as you can see, this fender matches this door. This is an original door. I put the one key lock in this. I did that on my C10, but the same key as the ignition does the doors, which they didn't do factory. Got a bunch of junk. That's all stuff from the engine I had to tear apart and use it to put my 300C together. It's an old Dodge Ram Hemi engine I needed the crank out of, and a couple other parts. Somebody put the Euro lights in it, the bumpers. I mean, I pull boats with this thing and a lot of different things. The only thing is, putting the boat in, not hard. Getting the boat out, hard. Because it likes to slide. The clutch isn't the best. It chatters. These are the original wheels. I don't have the hubcaps, the center caps, I guess, for them. But I kind of like these wheels. I want to get You know, I want to get some 20s or something for it, but I got these tires real cheap, super cheap. And I know they're really small, but they were super cheap. And they wouldn't fit on the front because I was just going to leave them on the front, kind of let it rake. But the front cross member on this thing almost touches, as you can see. I'll get under here and show you. It almost touches. I mean, I don't know. Fix it. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see that. Like, can't reach into there that well, but it's definitely just that much a fist. Well, my fist. And the exhaust is probably an inch or two lower than that. I mean, the A arms, the lower control arms, are straight across, if not up more than, you know, down like they're supposed to be. The only thing wrong with this whole front end is the pitman arms. The pitman arms are worn out. The box is tight. The tie rods are tight. The ball joints are tight. I got it like that. She was all tight. I checked it all. Runs good. I hit a deer years ago, and which side was it? Yeah, it hit me in this corner, so it dented this, and it broke this, broke the light. So I bought the whole thing, new marker lights, new turn lights / running lights. That GMC came off of a big truck. It doesn't even belong here. It's actually bigger than the one that belongs here, but I like it. And I had to buy the grill, which incidentally, I cracked it. Like the next week I hit a freaking bird. You know, can't stop hitting stuff. I got the Angel Eye LED lights for the headlights. It's got the 3 dots with the oval and the circle, a projector beam, and hyper LEDs. I don't know why Chinesium lights do this, but I have to aim them way up. They, like, if you put them in there to where they look even, they just hit the floor. If you see what I'm saying, they're angled way up. They're like even sticking out. But it's got great lights. See, this has got the good hood latches. They carried over from the square bodies. That last generation had them coil spring. It's been hit here. Another deer hit me in the side. I couldn't even roll the window down. I had to go in there with a 2x4, and there's a brace in that door I had to fix. There's my exhaust, if you can see it on the ground. Like right there. Back of this box side is pretty straight. But walk around this thing again, see? Oh yeah. Took the handle out. I took the handle out. I got to weld a patch in there. But this is something I like to do is I just cut a hole, which I was gonna fix these holes that I made horrible, but you know, just so you can open it. You just do that. Good to go garage. Like and subscribe. I got all them stickers. Some of them were on there, like the bass, the duck, the NWTF. Got smudge. Jegs was on there too. Excels, them wore out fast. I don't know. I put them on like 2 years ago. They're already sunburnt. Of course, we got Bubs. Good old Bubs. Got the Golden Girls. Because, for real, dude, the Golden Girls are awesome. And this is an SLE Sierra, whatever that means. See how the door It says, it's got the Chevy symbol, not the GMC symbol. It's got the Chevy 1500 on it. That's a peasant door. See, this one used to say GMC right there. I mean, it's missing, but what else can I tell you? Yeah, this rocker's worn out. I mean, it's not rockers on these trucks. The doors cover them, so you just whatever, you know. Put a new piece in there, no problem. I do not think these seats roll up. That's my main problem with them. They go like half, or like, hold on. I'm gonna try to do this. But they do go up. My mistake. I thought they didn't go up all the way. I never. You can just reach behind them. This is what was in this. Another dual. Hey, check this out. If you don't want somebody to steal your $20 radio, you just take the face off. But I mean, it really does nothing, because I think you just connect these two and it works, or something stupid like that. But yeah, yay. This radio wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that loud because it's non-amplified. I could barely hear it through the speakers. This is the one speaker I think that's hooked up. It's missing a piece of trim that goes back here, and the light only works with this on. I mean, the dome light only works when the passenger's door opens. Box full of parts, fuel filter. Maybe I'll fire it up. We could take a ride. It's nothing special, but I did let the plates are almost up. May of 23. I'm gonna have to re-inspect it and whatnot. I'm sure it'll pass. It's just missing most of the stuff I took off of it. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. I love these things. Dude, it used to work. Can't you work no more? Why can't you work? Probably because, you know, the lack of me taking care of this thing. Oh, there we go. Ah, ha. Sucker. Anyway, yeah, it's got the under hood light, you know. It's kind of awesome. GMC things. It's got AC. Clutch is frozen, but it did work. Whatever happened when it turned on, actually this was frozen. I can't believe that. It's unfrozen. When I bought it, I put a fuse in it because it blew the fuse, and it worked for like a second, then it froze up. It's probably the bearings. You know, I actually got a really expensive tune-up on this, full brass cap and whatnot. She runs good. I mean, this thing's got 1 million miles on it, but it runs good. It's a good truck. Look at these. Stress crack to the gills. Yeah, I forgot what I hooked up this tack. I just pushed this plug in because, you know, I didn't even care. Believe it or not, I love this truck. I might not act like I love this truck, but these things are nice, man. Boxed frame on these trucks, I think. Most of the way back. All you got to do is add a little bit more if you want it. The cab looks like it. Is sagging, but it is not. I assure you. This is when I notched the frame, and I never welded it. This is what happened. The frame bent. Well, it didn't bend. Well, it did bend, but it's not concerning to me. There's bolts in there holding it, but I need to take the bolts loose, lift the body up, get it to sag back down the frame, and then it'll fix my line there, you know. But we'll do that after we put the V8 in it. Did I say that? Yeah, because that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm sticking a V8 in it. I got a 5.3 all aluminum LS, and I got a basically, I think it's a stroke 283. That's a joke, if you know what that is. But that stroke 283, man, she got some zing to her. I put a little cam in it, gear timing, full roller, just to see what I can get out of it. It's not too bad. I say that never running it, but I assume it wouldn't be that bad. I got 5.0 HO heads on it from the HO 305, the good ones. Can't remember the name. This thing has good brake lines. I mean, good wiring. And these are the ones with the junk wiring. These OBSs usually have trash wiring, but I've gone through it and fixed a couple little minor things that were wrong with it. And the only bad wiring now is the windshield wipers are on a switch, and they're either on or off, on, medium, high, or off, and that's it. But I mean, that doesn't bother me because, like I said, I really don't care about this thing, even though it's my second favorite truck. But it was my first favorite before I got the C10. I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you. Well, let's start it up, give her a little listen to. Don't sound bad. It's pretty quiet, actually. She smokes when you first start it up, but she don't sound bad either. It's got a fake Flowmaster, like a Chinese $25 Flowmaster. It might have even been 20 bucks when I bought it. And I just cut it behind the Y pipe, put the flowy on there, and this little tip. The tip was more in the muffler because I planned on putting it through the bedside, but I just had to hook it up because it was horribly loud without a tip on it. I mean, a muffler and tip, which I put on together. I usually haul my lawnmower back here. Like I said, just a bunch of that Hemi stuff, C57. Here's the factory piston out of a 5.7. They're coated. They got that I don't remember what it's called, but they got this black coating on them, this anodized stuff, and it really helps. This is the one I stretched. I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't line up. These are cracked. These are how they to separate this is cast in one unit, and then they crack them like an LS. But as you can see, this one's well off because it got ovaled because it, you know, spun a bearing. This is the timing chain cover from the same thing. This is what do they call these? Cam phaser from an 08 Cadillac I had. Sold it. See, there's the coating almost wore off of that one, but good enough. This one, as you can see, you can't barely see where it connects to, and as you can see, you can't really see the line where they cracked this at. But on this one, you can see it. That's how you know how bad it is. See, it's definitely broken right here somewhere. Can't see it. this one, you can see junk. There's that oil pump. Factory matching numbers oil pump. I should save that for my 300. This is a timing chain from that thing? Nope. This is the timing chain out of old modular Ford engine I did, I think. This thing, the the return air valve, the idle air valve, control valve, there it is, idle air control valve on this moves and wanders. It's old and sticky, and I dare not touch this truck unless I do something with it. I mean, like, the sensors are fragile and whatnot. Look, she's running away. I leaned on her too hard. But I guess we'll roll the windows down so you can hear it, and we'll go for a ride. Well, I don't know if you can tell by the angle of the truck, but she's a little low on that right front quarter, because that tire's pretty low. So we're just gonna give her a tickle of air. I like to run about 38, 40 on pretty much everything, you know, except, you know, anything that's going on the street for day to day. Most time that 35. Make sure this 38 in them hot. 40. Get a little bit of gas mileage, but it's kind of like a personal thing. These tires are kind of shot. I've had these for a long time too. They're not the bestest. Just gonna stick 40 in it. I know this is the only tire that leaks on here because I've had this truck forever. All right, 38. Let's get from my house. Let's make sure this one's 38. I know the back ones don't leak at all. Well, I think I know that the back ones don't leak at all, but yep, this one's a little low too. Might just be my Harbor Freight tire pressure gauge, but maybe not. Hey, hey, hey. Watch it there, fella. £1, £2, £3, £4, £5, £6, 40 pounds is what I want. It's that left hand. He's trying, but you know, he was a few years behind the other hand, learning wise, so. Oh, whoa, whoa. That 40. Wow, that's 45. Went from nothing to everything, didn't it? Just want the 40, 38, 40. You know, try to shoot within 2 pounds of each other. Good enough. Tire cap. Oh, let's go. Make sure that I'm not, excuse me. Let's make sure that I guess right and these have the proper amount of air in them. Oh. Hell yeah. Brother. That's not me. That's this other guy says that all the time. One more tire. We're gonna leave the air hose. Hopefully this thing's got the proper pieces in it. The PSI pieces. Awesome. 40 and 40. Oh lordy. Well, I'm gonna put my stuff up. Then we'll go for a little ride, you know. Go for a little bitty ride. Here we go. Man, I think 4.3s, especially when they idle and they're low in gear, they sound a lot like a V8, if not better. I mean, that's a hard claim, but there are some things that sound better than V8s. Like a V12 or like an old Hornet inline 6. Hudson Hornet. Hudson inline 6. Off a guy a town or two over. He said, oh, the engine's locked up. I didn't really care. I planned on putting a V8 in it anyway. He's like, go ahead and look at it. First thing I did was grab the crank pulley. It spun. Then had a good battery in it. I didn't argue after that. I just said, take my money. I can't remember, I think it was $350, $250. I don't know, it's years ago, man. It was pennies. Pennies, nothing. Because I thought I'd get it running in no time, which I did. The second it got home, there's a, whatchamacallit, a ballast resistor, but they got like a ballast wire in these. Resistor wire, ballast resistor wire. Just replaced it because they burn out super easily, and it ran. Then I had to do some other wiring because the wiring in these trucks factory is horrendous. So I had to, somewhere along where the wires go from the power block to the ignition, they were caught. They were grounding out. So I just went from one end to the other and replaced them. Give her a little. That's all she got, bruh. Which is better than nothing. Be careful with this thing. It says it's going a lot faster than, well, I mean, it says it's going a lot slower than it really is. I hope you can hear me with all this wind noise. Fourth gear, synchros are no good in it. Well, not no good, they're getting to be no good. wrong end. That's the find your words, Lenny. That is the trailer hitch. Just banging on the ground because it sits super low in the back. Is works and all. Pretty good girl. I also have a set of I miss my beard. I also have a set of Jeep wheels I wanted to put on it. They're 18s, I think. They're in the garage doing her own thing, but that's pretty much it. I will stick a V8 in it, whether it's an LS, which will bolt right up. I just need to buy a flywheel, or a small block, regular old school small block Chevy. Yeah, it's getting 2 extra cylinders somehow, so we'll worry about that bridge when we cross it. Like always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.